In 2024, I decided to start a competition called International Championship.
Okay.
Where I put a trophy of 1 million dirhams, and I invite different nationalities to form their teams and participate.
Okay.
I went directly to their embassies, invited them, and more than 50 embassies were interested.
Okay.
Even the Cameroon embassy and a lot of embassies were interested, and I requested from them the NOC that
I'll pick up the chunks from the, the beatings and take my bath. I couldn't afford a thing. There was a day I got stalked in Dubai. I did not have transport fare.
Oh my God.
I slept in Union.
You slept in Union?
So without wasting time, I opened my boxes because I told you I came just with few pieces of dresses, and I start selling.
I participated in a lot of difficult times. I'm not married. In fact, because of the times I wanted to commit suicide.
Right? Yeah. So I actually sent 3 million CF for France. Yes. And they made me a 1-month visa.
I applied a lot. If you know what 8 months look like.
I've been for 17 months, my dear, without a job. Yes, right.
So as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others the permission to do the same.
Okay guys, so today we have this amazing gentleman. Before we give him the podium to explain who he really is, I want to first of all thank you for coming over to support my growth here on YouTube, to share your story, to inspire someone out there, because trust me, my YouTube is all about growth, it's all about motivation, it's all about inspiring those people who are watching me. So thank you so much for taking out your time out of your busy schedule to come here to support me your own little way.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
All right. Yeah. Okay, so to make my viewers understand who really is seated here with us today, who I am going to be interviewing, can you give a brief introduction about you, about where you're coming from, how long you've been in the UAE, and what you do for a living?
Okay, so my name is Jean-Claude Mbaku.
Okay.
I'm from Southern Cameroon.
Okay.
And I've been in UAE for the past 10 years.
Okay.
I have ventured into many things, many businesses, and I've worked in many places.
Okay.
But currently, I'm into sports.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So with the brief introduction you've given us, can you describe who Jean-Claude Mbaku is in 3 words?
Jean-Claude Mbaku is an entrepreneur.
Okay.
He's resilient.
Okay.
And he never stopped trying.
All right, perfect. So let's get to what prompted you to leave your home country. You said Cameroon, right?
Yes.
What prompted you to leave Cameroon, and why did you choose the United Arab Emirates in specific?
So, United Arab Emirates, not my first country. I was based in Qatar.
Okay.
So I migrated to Qatar 2013. And from Qatar, I decided to transition to UAE.
Oh, okay.
The reason why I came here was because of sports.
Okay.
So I used to play football during my school days, and I decided to pursue a football career.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's what brought me to UAE.
All right, so you said you were in Qatar.
Yeah.
How many years did you stay in Qatar for?
Just 2 years.
Oh, okay.
2013, 2015.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's perfect. All right, so what were your first impression upon arriving the United Arab Emirates?
Impression in what aspect?
I'm talking about the weather condition, I'm talking about the accommodation and overall environment, yeah.
Okay, so for the weather condition, it was not strange.
Okay.
Because the weather here in UAE is similar to the weather in Qatar.
Okay.
But before going anywhere, I always do my research.
Okay.
I always check what's the weather condition, the cost of living, and everything. And for accommodation, my accommodation was pre-arranged.
Okay.
So I was supposed to do training with a club in Fujairah.
Okay.
So my hotel was already booked for 6 months.
Okay.
So I went straight and I was picked from the airport. Then I went there and I started the training. So I came here with a purpose.
All right. So you did not have to squash yourself in the bed spaces, tally on the line to have your bath. So you did not really go through the normal route that many of your African brothers and sisters go through.
No, I
All
didn't
right.
experience that.
So let's go down memory lane. Who was Jean-Claude Mbako in their home country? Just give us a summary of who you were before you decided to go out for greener pastures.
Well, like I said, I'm from Southern Cameroon.
I don't know why you were saying South Cameroon is Cameroon.
I have to emphasize because that's where I'm from. I cannot change my identity.
Okay, all right.
And I'm proud to be from there.
All right.
Yeah. So
when you say
it was a struggling life.
When you say Southern Cameroon, what do you mean?
Because Cameroon was divided into two.
Yeah.
After Germany was exited by France and
English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there were two Cameroons. So I'm from the southern
The English part.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why I emphasize I'm from Southern Cameroon.
Okay. All right.
So, as you know, life in Cameroon is full of struggle.
Okay.
Because there is no opportunity for the youth.
Okay.
Yeah. People whom I knew when I was young, like when I was 10 years to be ministers, presidents, are still there right now.
Okay.
So there was no opportunity for me to become anything. In order to pursue my dreams, I had to go somewhere where I can get opportunities.
All right.
So it was a struggling life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what, in terms of career, what were you doing before you left Cameroon?
So after I finished my high school, I went to Yaoundé for university.
Okay.
But in the first year I dropped.
Okay.
Because my father died.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
So when I dropped, I started struggling by myself.
Okay.
I drove taxi, I drove bike, I did everything. And I'm very proud of it because it made me who I am today. Very resilient.
Yeah. All right. All right. So this football career of yours, is it something that it was done just because your dad died, or is it something that you were born with? Because there are some footballers that were actually born to be it. Okay, when they play, you know they are skilled. In fact, it's a talent that was in them. But some of them, or some footballers, when they play, you know, oh, this one is just borrowed. Like he's,
So football was just my passion. I like to play. And like I said, I used to play during my school days.
Okay.
And even when I was driving taxi or whatever, I used to go to the field. You know what they call Sunday shop. So we used to go and play, and I felt that if I devote myself, I can become the best.
Okay.
And as you know, you only become the best when you keep doing the same thing over and over.
Yeah, definitely.
So I believe that I can be anything I want to be. So that's why I choose to pursue and to see, you know, because football, by the way, is a game of luck.
Okay.
90% of people who desire to become footballers do not end up doing that. Do you know why? Because the big organizations like the FIFA, the IOC, they focus only on the pro.
Yeah.
They don't care about the semi-professionals. And with millions of semi-professionals worldwide, they don't have a platform, or they don't have anywhere to showcase their skills. That's why to become a footballer is just like a woman. A woman has a stage where if you don't marry, it's a problem.
Okay.
Same like football.
Okay.
At a certain age, if you don't have a club, if you don't advance your career, you go on menopause. So football menopause.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's shift from the career side and get into what is the topic in Dubai right now, which is the love in Dubai. Because you go on TikTok, you go on all the social media platforms. When it comes to love in Dubai, people have lots and lots of things to say.
Okay.
So what's the dating scene like in Dubai? The dating scene like in Dubai from your own perspective as a man?
Well, you know, a lot of people. Well, let me say, personally,
Yeah.
I came here for a purpose, and I have my core values.
Okay.
So if anything does not align with my purpose, I don't put much attention to that.
Okay.
But then we are humans. We
Definitely.
can have love affairs and all this, but I don't make it like a priority like other people do. So I don't put my mind that much on dating. But I've dated, and
It didn't
I
go
also
well.
got married in Dubai.
Oh, okay. You're married.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got married in Dubai. I have my first twins and second twins. I have 4 twins here in Dubai.
No, 4 children. No, 2 sets of twins.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good.
With the girl I met here.
Okay.
So we are fine. And
you can easily tell us and my viewers, because myself, I'm single, yeah? So tell us like where we can find quality love in Dubai. We need to know because the girls are worried. What's happening in Dubai?
Well, I think if you know what you want, you can easily get it.
Yeah.
The problem with maybe girls in Dubai is because they don't even know what they want.
Okay.
They don't know if they want love, or they want money, or they want attention, or a lot of things.
Okay.
So in order to get anything, you have to first define what you want. And then you look for that thing and you have it.
Okay.
If you don't define, it's very difficult. Everything will look like what you want.
Okay.
So the first step is defining what you want, and then you go for it.
Yeah. So
Where you're
which
going to
location should we go for it?
It's not a location. It's just based on what you want, you have it. For example, I have my vision. My vision is to become a leader in sports or technology. So wherever there is sports events or technology events, I will go. That's where I can find those things which I've defined for myself.
Definitely.
So if you want a man, you have to first define, do you want a black man or a white man? If you want a white person, you go where white people are, you know, loitering, and based on the values you want from that white man, you can get it. It's easy.
Okay.
But you have to define.
Oh, okay.
This is what I think.
All right. Your opinion is a good one. Especially the definition part. Defining what you want is very important. Yeah. All right. So how long have you been here in the UAE?
I've been here for 10 years.
Okay.
I arrived here 2015. And like I said, I trained for 6 months with one club in Fijera.
All right.
But
it did not go through.
It did not go well. Let me say there was some language barrier with the coaches, and there was some language barriers.
Okay.
So I was not selected at the end.
Okay.
But like I said, I never give up.
All right. I want to ask a question.
Okay.
Do you love it here? I mean, living in Dubai, United Arab Emirates.
Yeah, of course, because as compared to where I'm coming from, Cameroon, I like being here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you came to Qatar. On the next question, you came to Qatar. You went to Qatar for your football career also, right?
Yeah.
All right. So how did you source out the club from Cameroon?
Okay, so I did not source the club from Cameroon.
Okay.
I went to Qatar.
Okay.
To look for that club.
Okay. All right.
So I went through a friend who was already there, and then I decided to work with football clubs. I worked with a lot of football clubs, Ajesh, Al Jazeera, and a lot of football clubs. I cannot remember their name because it's been long.
Okay.
So what I used to do is I used to coordinate their fan clubs.
Okay.
By working with them, I go closer to them, and then I go to their training grounds, and you know, I tell them I know how to play.
Okay.
If they give me a chance, I show my skills, then I started training with them.
Okay, so how did you source out the club? You came here, the club in the UAE that sponsored you for 6 months.
Okay, so the club in UAE, I had a friend also in Fijera.
Okay.
He's in the military.
Oh, okay.
He was my friend, so we used to talk.
Okay.
And then I started asking him, do you know any club over there? I want to play. I know how to play. And he asked my football license. I show him.
Okay.
So he went straight to that club because he knows somebody there and tell them, I have a friend from Cameroon. He knows how to play, blah, blah, blah. So they called me for a trial and I went.
All right.
I left from Qatar, I came here.
For 6 months.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start this question from after you were not chosen.
Okay.
All right. So can you share your personal experience? Because I know for sure maybe when you were not chosen and you saw that UAE is a place where you can start life, how did you maneuver probably getting a job, employment, and visa change? So just give us a brief story on how you got through that till you seated here with me today.
So when I was not selected, because we were so many of us,
Okay.
the club was good. They offered me some money.
Okay.
And they told me to come whenever I need anything.
Okay. That's
And
good.
whenever I call my friend, if I say I need 5,000 or 10,000, he will just send to me.
Okay.
So my visa was finished,
Okay.
and they sent me for visa change in Kish.
Okay.
I went there, did visa change, and then I had to leave the hotel because it was very expensive. It's 150 per day.
Okay.
So I left the hotel. I have a brother who was here before.
Okay.
So I called him. I said the trial didn't go well, so I have to do something else.
Okay.
So I left from Fijira, came to Dubai,
Okay.
and then I stayed with him for some time.
Okay.
And then I started. I said I need to start something.
Definitely.
And he was into best space, you know.
Okay.
So I called my friend and said I need 10,000.
Okay.
He sent it to me.
Okay.
He has never asked me what do you want to do with. He will just send.
Okay.
I just went. I rent 2 rooms,
Okay.
and then I did the same thing.
You started being a landlord
Yes.
to the bed space. Okay.
So I did the same thing I saw my brother doing.
Okay.
I took the 2 rooms, make the bed space,
Okay.
put people inside,
Okay.
and then from 2 rooms I took 3, 4, 5, and then I
Okay.
took the full building.
The full villa.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I started doing that.
Okay.
And I was friend with some Pakistani who were in the same business.
Okay.
I started taking villas
Okay.
and retailing.
Oh, okay.
But in 2017,
Okay.
I had a massive loss.
Okay.
So what happened is I took villas from Pakistani people who took from the
Other people.
Emiratis.
Yeah.
And then when I paid them money, they ran away with my money.
Oh.
And the owner himself came and chased everyone out.
Okay.
So by 2017, I lost 300,000 dirhams.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I lost everything.
Okay. Okay.
But I didn't give up. So I called my mother back home, sent me some money.
Okay.
She sent. I called my friend in Fijera.
Okay.
He sent some money.
All right.
I took another villa again.
Okay.
And then I started struggling and then, trying to pick up. And then again, problems happened.
Yeah.
Baladia came and shut down the building.
Okay.
And it was a big problem because by then I was expecting twins.
Oh,
Around
okay.
2019,
Okay. Okay.
And as you know, US is full of issues. And so 2019 also, some people gave me money to do them visas. I took the money to the agency, paid the money, and they did visa for 2 people.
Yeah.
But there were 30 people.
Okay.
They did only for 3 people, and they closed their company. And I was in debt for 77,000. It's a big problem.
Oh, wait. You gave money for 30 people?
Yeah.
Visa. How much did you collect from the people back at home?
I got 3,000 from them. Because the agency said they needed direct employment.
Okay.
So I spoke with them, what kind of job? They say warehouse. I said, okay, let's make an agreement.
Okay.
They were supposed to take from me 4,000, but I charged the people 5,000.
Okay.
So I took 3,000 advance,
Okay.
paid them, and they disappeared.
Oh.
And I was in a big problem with these people.
So how did you solve that issue? Because that's a very big issue. Oh, like when you have to take people's money for visa.
So what I did is I told them what happened, and I decided to do 3 months visa for them.
Okay.
I did 3 months visa for all of them, and they paid flights. Came, I accommodated them for 3 months.
Okay.
And I went out to look for jobs for them. And I actually got jobs for more than 22 of them.
Oh, wow.
But the rest, like 8, I didn't get jobs for them. But they understood the struggle and they changed the visa. So I lost money because the company ran away, and I had to reserve 2 rooms only for these people.
Okay.
So that was how I managed to solve the problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you've never had employment?
Employment in Dubai?
Yourself, yeah.
Yeah, I used to work. But I was not focusing all my mind on the work.
Okay.
I work with Asha.
Okay.
I work in the warehouse.
Okay.
And during working, I was also studying.
Okay.
I studied to become a safety engineer.
Okay.
And then around 2019, I resigned.
Okay.
Yeah, so I resigned 2019, and then Corona came.
Okay.
And I even...
The game changer.
Yeah. So, but during Corona, I actually had another job.
Okay.
I had another job as a safety with one French company, LPL.
Okay.
So I was working like the offshore safety engineer with them. Yeah, it was a government project. Yeah, so during Corona we were working, and because of social distances and all this, we were relocated from our homes to the hotel.
Oh, okay.
So I was staying in the hotel throughout the Corona period, and I worked with them. And after the Corona, I resigned again.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So presently, what's your job role? Like, are you working?
Okay, so when I resigned after Corona, I started my own company.
Okay.
It was a facility management company.
Okay.
That was in 2021.
Okay, so it's definitely, facility management is definitely part of safety.
So I started facility management. I asked my brother, his name is Dixon Rao.
Okay.
I said, come and join me, let's do something together. We cannot continue working forever. So he came, we started the company, we struggled a lot, and we failed, we wake up, we fail, we wake up, and we actually successfully grew the company to become very big.
Okay.
We had up to 12 cars, 80 employees, and everything was going well.
Okay.
But in 2024, January 2024, we had a big loss.
Okay.
They stole 3 Hilux, brand new, 0 kilometer, which I bought from Alphotel.
How did they steal it?
Well, we had one manager who was, I don't want to mention his nationality. Well, he took the Hilux and gave his country person, and they disappeared with the cars. And we started facing a lot of challenges on completing our own projects.
Okay.
And at that time, I was also studying again.
Yeah.
I enrolled in a course, a master degree course in football business with FBA, one school in Switzerland. Okay. So I was focusing there while Dixon was focusing on the workers. So we had that loss, and gradually we fell out of business.
All right, let me get to your job at Al Shire. How did you get the job in Al Shire?
I just applied and they called me. I had several offer letters at that time, like 10. I was even confused which one to choose.
Go, yeah.
But I decided to take that one. Yeah.
Okay, so in total, how many visa changes did you do in Dubai?
I did 1 visa change.
Okay.
And since then, I've never done visa change before.
Okay, so for the living condition, the housing, you became a landlord by renting villas, being a subcontractor to villas, giving it out, best position. Let me say, for example, I have a villa. Does that really make lots and lots of cash in Dubai? Would you advise someone to get into that kind of business?
Of course, it's a big, it's big business.
It's big business.
I met, like I said, in 2024, I lost 1.5 million dirhams.
Okay.
So where did the money come from? Only from renter. I had more than 200 tenants.
Okay. So that's some big profitable business.
But you need to know how to
do it.
How to do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And of course, that's not also legal business. So I had to stop.
Oh, okay.
Like 2024, I had I stopped villas because villas are more dangerous. When you have a villa, if they have to shut it down, everything's gone.
Okay.
So I stopped villas. I started taking apartments.
Okay.
Yeah, take apartments and apartments, and you can you can make partitions and so to reduce the cost.
Okay.
So that was where I generated money to have the first company and even the current company, because after the fall of the facility management company, I started a sports company, a sport organizing company, which I'm currently holding right now.
Okay.
And with this sports, it's a vision I had when I was not selected in 2015 during my training. I made up my mind to start to organize or to make a sport company that will give everyone the opportunity to play. Yeah, like an inclusive platform where players will come to play from all over the world. And I actually started. So in 2024, I decided to start a competition called International Championship, where I put a trophy of 1 million dirhams, and I invite different nationalities to form their teams and participate. I went directly to their embassies, invited them, and more than 50 embassies were interested. Even the Cameroon embassy and a lot of embassies were interested, and I requested from them the NOC that they approved that their nationalities to participate. More than 40 NOCs I have right now. But then in 2024 also, I had too much challenge. I lost my facility management company. I was studying at the same time, doing my master degree in sport business, and I had another set of twins. And the pressure was too much. So I postponed the tournament to 2025. So in 2025, I'm going to do the International Championship. I'm going to invite semi-amateurs who do not have the opportunity to play, to showcase their skills wherever they are, to come to UAE to play and to represent their countries.
No wahala, because that's very interesting. It's very interesting. I like people like you, really, because it's very interesting that the Cameroonian is somewhere trying to think out of the box, wanting to bring people together through football, wanting to help people, because I know for sure that there are many people who are so talented. They have the gifts of football, but they cannot be chosen, because even in our own country, to be chosen to even play at national level is a very big challenge. So for you to do this, kudos, my brother. Honestly,
I know no matter how best you are in whatever you do, if people don't know you, it's as good as nothing.
You're right.
So I'm already networking with my partners in USA, in Canada, in UK, in Australia. I'm going to be organizing this competition in 10 different country. My target is a country that has a lot of different nationalities. So I will be organizing this competition in at least 10 countries every year by 2030. That's my vision.
That's your vision. All right. That's a wonderful one. All right. So you are like, when it comes to the professional part, right, apart from you being a professional footballer, apart from you starting your own company like a serial entrepreneur, let's get to you working. Actually, maybe you've worked before. You said you were doing something to become a safety engineer. Let's get to the safety engineering part. How far have you gone with that career of yours?
So I'm still safety. I have acquired the knowledge. And knowledge acquired cannot disappear. I've worked as a safety, and the only challenge with safety is that if there's any safety concerns, you're the first person to be accountable. If something goes wrong, you're going to be held accountable. So I see some risks in that. By the way, it was just for the time being. My aim was to become what I am right now.
What are you right now?
I'm a sport entrepreneur. And I have a lot of ideas on how to develop sports. And I already have everything in the pipeline right now.
All right. So could you describe your sport profession as a sport entrepreneur? Right. Can you describe that profession so many people should understand? First of all, what's your title?
Well, right now, I'm like a sport consultant. I can help football academies, football clubs on how to manage their clubs, on how to optimize revenue, on how to generate revenue, on how to do a lot of things. By the way, I was even nominated by the African Mini Football Federation as the Cameroon Mini Football President.
Oh, okay.
That was in 2024.
Oh, okay.
But I actually turned it down because I was studying and I had a lot of things in my mind.
Yeah.
And I'm not enticed with titles, actually. I want to do something that will benefit the people.
Okay.
So I'm like a sport consultant right now.
All right.
And in my event, which I'm going to be organizing, I'm like the event director, the sport event director.
Okay.
I'm directing every aspect of the event, from planning to execution to everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you started off like a footballer, so it tallies with what you were passionate about.
Yeah.
So for people who don't have, for people who are just like mere footballers, maybe by gift without the passion. Can you just share the details of the qualification and course and education that you had to go through to get to being a sport consultant? Because maybe someone needs to know. Should FIFA come into the UAE, since you are a sport consultant, based on your skills, your education, and your experience, how much do you believe you are worth in the UAE job market in terms of cash as a sport consultant, if FIFA should come to the UAE?
Well, first of all, you have to know what is FIFA.